We are recording.
Okay, so when I was doing the readings, like as I was doing the readings, I kind of made a, I picture this as like a Venn diagram, so I'm having a little bit of trouble moving it into a concept map, kind of, because that was my concept map. So I might need you guys' help a little bit, but basically that's how we do it is we click here and then a little bubble will create if my computer can get up to speed. And so then, we could type in, I don't know, I guess it could be a role model. And then we can change the way that this looks. So we can do like a grid or a tree or make like a circle. And there's, I'm sure, different kinds of trees. I just don't know how you guys kind of envision this. This is the first thing we need to figure out.
Let's do a tree left for one and a tree right for the other, and then we'll put the common ones right in the middle.
That's kind of
what I was thinking. Things that are individual can go off to the outside, and I noticed too. You can drag the bubbles around and move them around.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Okay, so excellent. And then we can just add off to the left. Perfect. Okay. So, I'm looking over my Venn diagram notes too. I don't know if you're able to see. Not really, huh? Anyway, basically it's a whole bunch of crazy, sloppy, short sentences. But one of the major things that I thought I was going to run into was finding things that were different between role models and mentors, And I'm not going to say that that wasn't difficult to differentiate, but at the end of it, I was like, wow, they really only have like one thing in common. And that's that, they kind of inspire, or we can talk about that later. But I thought one of the major differences was that role models do and mentors coach.
I would agree with that. When I was looking at it, the kind of ideas that I was getting was that role models are doing things without the concern of what other people think, whereas mentors always are, it's on their mind, like, I have to do this so and so either understands this or learns something or does something like that, where I think role models, in some capacities, when they share qualities with mentors, will go into that role as well. But I think if you're looking at just a straight up role model, they're more concerned with doing what they think is right and being what they are trying to be.
Yeah, living there was one guy that said what he was doing. The model, like they're living their own why or whatever. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to put. So in this, and I would have to reread, or I need your guys' help in rereading the description of the assignment. Are we able just to put maybe we can just start with, how much do I have to elaborate is what I'm getting at?
I don't think we have to. I think since this is just kind of our concept model, and since we're kind of recording and going with this, I don't think you have to have like super elaborate explanation.
Okay.
Levels. I think it's more of just our kind of mind concept of how we're dividing it. So I think having do and coach is fine.
Excellent. Okay. So then, well, how am I going to do this? Do I add?
Yeah, and then if you go to the right tab, or the one that goes off to the right side of the screen, or hit that again. And then hit the yellow button, and then hit the other tab to the down. Sorry, this is to the right. Down. Yeah, hit that one.
Oh, I see.
That should make another yellow one, and then you can put like mentor there.
Okay.
And so like the ones that go off to the side is like a new bubble.
Got it.
And the down is ones that'll have the little connecting dot.
Connecting ones. So then we want this one, right? Oh no, we don't want to go to the left though. We want to go to the right. Tree right. Is that correct?
I think.
Oh, Can I really?
If you like click off of it,
Mm-hmm.
like click off the screen, and then click that green bubble, or like hold it down, I think you can drag it.
Oh, you're so smart. Look at that. It's like you're 1/6 the doctor.
About
Intelligence. I'm surrounded just by amazing people. Excellent. Oh, I can pin it. This is awesome. Okay, so mentor, we said that they coach. That was the thing I used. And then when there's something, if you guys want to add to that like if these, simple words aren't like sufficing for the thinking that you want to portray. It's 4 a.m. I can't think of words right now. I'm sorry. Please feel free to put that in there. Was doing and coaching, is that covering it for you guys?
that does for me, I think. We can do another bubble for kind of what their inspiration is.
Okay.
Like,
So I click this right here, right?
that would grow one off of the green one. If you want to do another
Okay.
one off the yellow, you'll click back on the yellow,
Okay.
and you can click down and it'll add another.
And then drag it again after I type. Okay. So we said that we said that a coach lives off their own inspiration, didn't we? Is that what we said?
I think a role model might. I think they live more off of their own inspiration, whereas a mentor may be more inspired to actually help their student or their peer.
I agree.
There too.
Okay.
At some point too, I'm not saying right now, but for mentor, I think we should put in the prereqs that they talked about in the one article for being like approachable and accessible and stuff like that, because I really think for role models, like you don't have to be those things. Like there are plenty of role models that are very, very much not approachable or accessible whatsoever. So
Yeah. And how did you want me to put that in here?
I think off of mentor, if we did another green bubble, just putting like approachable and accessible as one of the terms. And then do you guys want to do like exactly how they would correlate to the other one, or like if we just put approachable and accessible for mentor, like, and we don't put anything on the opposite side for role model, like it kind of is showing that they don't have those qualities, kind of a thing? Or do you want to put?
I don't think we have to have an exact mirror opposite on the other side,
Okay.
because it's not that role. Because then on the flip side, you'd have to say that role models either are approachable all the time or they're not at all, and I don't think this is really right.
Right.
I don't think.
Sure.
And
number.
I like that you brought up, that is a good thing, is that role models may be approachable, but I don't think they ever have to necessarily be accessible, because they talked about you finding inspiration from, people you don't even know. So you're right. I like that. Okay.
I was also going to say there's a more social aspect to mentoring, whereas like you were saying, Jody, like you may never actually meet or talk to your role models, but your mentors, like you have to have some kind of social interaction with them.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that a mentor works under that umbrella of that social learning.
Yeah, definitely. So we could add a sibling here and say, is that what we want to do? Is just add something over here, not off of the mentor, right? Because it's related to this bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
okay.
would work.
Oh, how did you guys phrase that again?
I said something to do with like social learning and offering social contributions to whoever they're mentoring. So
Okay, I got it.
they
Involves.
like social and collaborative.
Yeah. Oops. Social collaborative feel. Involves more social collaborative environment
Yeah.
or characteristics, qualities. Yeah, qualities. It's tough because that what talked about the social that first article that talked about the social thing was about, you know, modeling different stuff too, and how
Yeah.
even collaboration should be a role model. But I'm not saying I disagreed with the article because I understood what they were saying, but I've identified that as more of being a mentor when you're able to collaborate and figure stuff out.
Yeah. I when I was kind of looking into that too, I looked at the part where it was talking about like helping them fit in.
Yeah.
So like with like the nursing stuff, like they make them dress in scrubs and they make them interact and do certain tasks, so it makes them feel like they're already part of it. So
Right.
once they get immersed into stuff, they don't feel like they're just all of a sudden now in this job that they've never done before.
Right.
So I think that's another issue for mentoring is like helping to fit in and adjust versus just kind of giving you lessons where like a role model would just kind of give you something to go by.
I agree.
Yeah. And
A template versus a, what did I write down here? Oh yeah, I didn't really have one. So over here with role model, I like that was a trigger for me. I want to add that here. Add child, add bubble, no, add child. Gives template or provides a template. And then we just don't mirror that on the other side. That was what we kind of said.
I think too, if we maybe going off of that or off what we were talking about a second ago, but usually your mentor is in the same general field as you. Like their mentor
Oh yeah.
athletic training or something, whereas a role model may be someone you look up to, but it may not have any like professional link to you.
Yeah.
Like a role model could be a family member or a teacher you had when you were younger or a coach you had or something like that. Whereas even though they may not be really involved with athletic training and haven't been a mentor to you personally.
Yeah, or even, you know, a mentor is usually dealing with your same, whatever, even if we weren't talking about like our careers and stuff, the same mindset as well. You know, you seek a mentor to help you with whatever specific subject you sought them out for in the first place. And you're right, a role model could be, you know, you are looking to them because they're living their own why that you admire or, you know, whatever.
I think too, kind of building off like the same field thing, it's
Mhm.
also an idea like mentors are not that they're trying to make somebody in their mold, but oftentimes the product of what a mentor's mentee is similar to the mentor, whereas the product of a role model may never actually reach that role model or have any resemblance to it. It's just
Right.
something that you kind of look at and you're like, oh, I'd like to be like that versus like I'm actually doing things in my clinical practice or my discipline that are reflective of what the mentor did.
Mhm.
And it's not always the case, but I feel like compared to role models, like the mentor mentee relationship is more reflective of like a mold and kind of filling the mold. So
Yeah. So I do want to finish this thought, and then we can add that in there. Or do I need to put anything? Somebody said something.
Maybe since it's kind of the mirror of the usually in the same field.
Yeah.
A role model is not
Necessarily, or
often not in your same profession, or like not off. So that one says usually in the same field, not usually in the same field.
yeah, it does not have to be in the same field. Yeah. All right, that was a lot more simple than I was making it. Okay, and then where did this come from? Delete. Well, we'll do that later. Okay, and then how should we phrase, I like what Dan just said. How should we phrase that? Or where should I start with that?
with a mentor, I would say kind of makes a mentee like fill them, or no, that's not a good one because they don't make them do anything. I said like mold fill is not completely understanding the mold that somebody could come from. So like in a role model, like you might not know their mold, but with mentors, like after you get to know them and work with them, you get more of an opportunity to understand the mold that they're kind of creating.
I feel bad because when you told me what to write down, you cut out.
I would say something to do with like filling a mold.
Okay.
With the mentor, whereas the role model, they don't have any intention usually of having people resemble what they do.
Okay, I'm gonna put, yeah, intentionality. If it's not a word, we're making it. We're writers.
Like the goal of a mentor.
It's okay.
Dan, am I right in saying that like the goal of a mentor is to make like a better clinician or improve their peer, whereas that's not the goal of a role model.
Yep.
A role model is just a role model's going after their own goals, and you admire them for that.
Yes.
For that trait, but they're not. Their goal is not to improve you.
Yes.
I like that. We're making role models sound like real pieces of crap, and I know that's not our intention. No intentionality to create.
I would say sometimes they do have the intention, but it's not often.
So did you say not necessarily intentional?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oops. I did want to bring in this thought that a role model, I feel like, they kind of talked about in one of the articles, good questioning, or maybe I'm kind of mixing up some actually other lectures that we talked about. Where I was going with that was I feel like a mentor provides good questions for you to figure yourself out. Have we talked about that already? Yeah, helps student find their why. So I was thinking that a mentor really explores who the individual is, and a role model, once again, is just kind of living their own life, and you happen to aspire to them. But I think we've already put that down, so never mind.
Also, in one of the articles, they like give a definition of mentoring. So I just wanted to make sure that like all the stuff that we have, like not that it has to follow that, but kind of falls in line with some of that stuff.
I
So
would agree with that.
mentoring is a peer learning strategy that builds on the development of humanistic caring relationship between two people in the same setting, in which knowledge, support, and skills are exchanged with a focus on nurturing the novice. And I think we've done a really good job of kind of covering that whole thing in the mentor spot already. So
Yeah, we got the
The
yeah,
second,
I think so.
we got the looking to develop the student or the peer. And something, I don't know how you would write this or put this in there, but just a thought that I kind of had was, because we were talking about we don't want to make the role model sound like a piece of crap, which like role models aren't. But a lot of times a good mentor is also a role model, but
Ooh.
a good role model might not necessarily be a mentor.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would put that in bubbles, but
I know that's like a geometry proof. We need to. I like that though a lot. Is there a way to connect, or
you know what?
that's
If
another
we
yellow
could,
bubble down there.
you draw like arrows.
yeah, like right here?
Yeah.
Do something like that. Oh my goodness, my cat. Okay. Say that again. I need to think through what you just said.
Okay. A good mentor is often also a role model, but a good role model is not always a mentor.
Yeah. I think we just write that verbatim.
Okay.
Is not always a mentor. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Like you don't have to have the role of a mentor to be a role model. You have a little
Yeah.
you have a little more freedom in that. Whereas to be a mentor, you have to be in a position to be a mentor.
I tend to agree with that. I was trying to make sure, and I think that kind of coincides with a mentor is often in the same field as you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times, like, I never had a mentor that did something a completely different way and was like, okay, now you go do this. I didn't find them that very mentoring, but is that because I disagree with the way they modeled it? And that proves like what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying.
And there's even been, but even in the same settings, like I've seen athletic trainers that I looked up to, and I was like, man, that guy's awesome, or she's awesome. I want to be more like them. But I was never in a position where I worked with them and really got a chance to be mentored by them.
Yeah.
They were a role model for me, and they were even in the same setting and profession, but we never had that construct there or that opportunity for them to move from a role model to a mentor for me.
Yeah. I'm double checking my notes, see if there's anything. No. I mentioned something on my notes that said a role model. I wrote down the word persona, like they have their own persona. Usually what you look like, you don't often know, or you don't always know the ins and outs of a role model, because you're just seeing whatever you took from them or whatever attracted you almost, I guess is the word. But I feel like a mentor really recognizes the individual, so your strengths and your weaknesses, the whole person, and tries to find something. I think a good mentor finds something that will fit what's going to work for you. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah. Would you say maybe like a way to word that would be like a mentor focuses on you and a role model focuses on something else? So like a role model isn't focused on making you a better you. That doesn't mean that a role model's goal might not be important or might not be like a valuable goal. Like maybe they're trying to cure cancer or whatever they're, working on. But their goal is not developing you specifically as a person.
Yeah. Well, and I think we kind of have it, I guess, when it's not necessarily intentional to create or improve versus a mentor has intentionality.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess I just wanted to say, I guess I just wanted to put in here that a mentor recognizes an individual. I think I might do a sibling maybe here. Okay. I thought mentee was a word. Oh, you upgraded.
Well, I just got a message that said a gift from Zoom running out of time. We removed the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting, and then I just clicked love it, and I guess I'm upgraded.
Okay. So how are we feeling about our list here?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I'm having a hard time coming up with something else to put in that doesn't run really close to what we already have.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel any more bubbles I add are just going to be the same bubble worded differently.
And I can see that's what I'm already doing. The one thing that I did put in here, and that was only because I was focusing on finding their similarities, because right now we have a lot of like how they're different, but we haven't talked a whole lot of how they're the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in there that they both provide experiences of some sort.
Yeah.
Can you guys see and hear me now?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, my connection just dropped out there for a second.
I actually see two of you.
Yeah, the old you is still there, looking
really?
inquisitive. This is gonna be an awesome video. I'm taking a picture. Dan, you can't see yourself? Some kind of fifth dimension we're working on here. Okay, so how do you guys want to do how they're similar? Because I'm not seeing that we have a whole lot of it.
Maybe just doing another box kind of above role model and mentor and putting similarities in there and then seeing if we can connect it to a line to both. Draw a line to both.
And you guys are okay with writing down that they both provide, I don't want to say experiences, that's not what I was looking for. They both provide not incentive, but
inspiration.
Well, and in that, they also have the potential to, you know, you can have a really bad mentor, a really bad role model to lead you down a bad path too. So I don't know what the opposite of inspire is. Destroy. I don't know. Both have potential to inspire.
Trying to remember.
I think it's important. I was trying to think. I think it's important to acknowledge that, you know, we did talk about good and bad mentors and role models, and it's about who we're picking to be our role models. Both of these people. I'm not saying like, okay, sometimes mentors are forced on you, but you don't follow their advice. So are they really a mentor? So I guess what I was trying to get at is both have the ability to lead you down a path, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put inspire or lead down a path.
Well, I think that's a good point to make, is that, like, and a lot of what we kind of were talking about were good qualities of a mentor or role model, but like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't have a bad mentor. Like, they can be giving you bad advice.
Right.
You might still follow them or even consider them a good mentor because of their personality or the common traits and values and stuff. I know one of the articles kind of mentioned that like what attracts a peer to a mentor is when they have similar values or similar interests or whatever. And so you may be willing to follow them down a path that's not necessarily the best.
Yeah.
Kind of building off that too, one of the notes that I had was like the value of the mentor from the protege is increased when the learner has interest, because that was one of the things that they talked about in the athletic training article, I believe, because they talked about how whenever the student is found to be more inquisitive, the mentor um, feels like they have a better relationship, so that the students also feel like they have like more value to that mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
So that was another thing that I think would be important to kind of include, is when there's learner interest, the perceived value of the mentor increases.
Well, and especially, and that's, I think what I was trying to get at is when we start talking about, it's not necessarily locus of control. That's not where I'm going with this, but both of these are valuable by how the mentee or the person that is doing the role model thing views that person. Like, these guys only have power because we're giving them power. And I feel like that kind of goes off of what you're saying. I just don't really know how to phrase that. I also don't know how to add a yellow box. I keep doing it on accident, and now I've run out of yellow boxes to use up.
Well, I think both of them too kind of gain
did it.
power when the learner buys into what they say. Because with role
Yeah.
model too, it's another thing. Like, if you don't like find something in that role model that you believe in, then you're not gonna kind of trust in them. So
Mm-hmm. So, and would that encompass everything that you were saying, Dan, or do you want to add something special?
I think we both kind of fall in the same perspective on that. So I don't think that anything more than including that both are effective when somebody buys into it is probably what would work best for both of them.
Okay. I can't think of another word. Student, mentee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, they get it. Okay, let me give you a better image that we're looking at here. So this is our chart.
I mean, I don't know what a mind map is supposed to look like, but it looks like the inside of my mind. So still confusing, not real sure where everything's going, how it kind of works together.
A lot of bubbles, empty bubbles sometimes.
At least that's my mind right now. So,
Mm-hmm. And I feel, I don't know, I'm nervous that this seems a little obvious to me or something. Have we covered everything that we need to cover as the assignment description says?
let me look at it to make sure. But
I have it up right now. So the assignment description says that you have to meet as a group, record the session on whatever platform, schedule a time to meet, read before your meeting, plan ahead about whose concept mapping account you'll use, record the session, download the PDF of your completed concept map and upload it with the link for video, and then it's due at this time. There's nothing else other than
Okay.
So it was very open for however we interpreted it.
So I need to upload it with the link to the video. So I'm sorry to do that to you, Dylan. Can you send me the link to the video?
I'll save it and I'll email it to you.
Okay, perfect. So we like this? Anything to add?
I don't think so.
I think we covered all the stuff that I had written down on my notes. So
Yep.
to me, that looks pretty good.
Yep, me too. That's everything on my list. Okay.
Awesome.
I will download this and send you guys a link to the copy, and then I'll text you guys when it has been. I'm gonna submit it this morning, or well, I'll wait till Dylan gets me his the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, I'll save it and email it to you. Very
Perfect.
Sure.
Excellent. Okay, guys.
I'll go ahead.
Have a great day.
All right, awesome. You guys too. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, you too. Bye.